Bitcoin and Ethereum once again closed the week with critical technical signals, and today's analysis will dive deep into what's coming next. We've been sounding the alarm since February, issuing at least 5 major warnings about Bitcoin's deteriorating technical conditions. Now, with momentum shifting and key support levels coming into play, are we witnessing the early stages of a larger correction? Or is there still a chance for a bullish recovery? Beyond Bitcoin and Ethereum, the altcoin market isn't looking any better. We'll also review the weekly closures of DOGE and other major coins, analyzing their candlestick structures, Elliott Wave setups, and momentum indicators to determine where the market could be heading next. Bitcoin's next big move is approaching fast. Let's break down the charts and crack the probabilities. This is where we left the candlestick map on March 6th. So what we are seeing here, first of all, on the daily frame, we can see that the cross 50 over 100 days moving average bearish cross is expanding. This is not a good sign. So what we are seeing is also that the candle today, Sunday's candle, was strong bearish, and it's not only confirmed at our top here a reversal technically, and also it broke through the 200 days moving average, which is a big deal. So now let's have a look at the bigger frame. 3-day. This is what we discussed 3 days ago when we saw this formation, and we said that the next candle could be something like this. Well, there is still 22 hours, and Bitcoin has a chance to move lower. The weekly closure today was technically bullish, however, with some technically bearish with some bullish flavor. So this could be an inside candle, and with the proper confirmation for bullish path, we might see another bounce here. And what we will be watching for the next 22 days is this. This is, first of all, I'd like to switch to the monthly. The monthly here was the bearish engulfing, very clean one. And if we see a closure below February's low, it will be a strong confirmation. But this is not the main point. This is the 3 months quarterly candle being formed right now, 22 days left. If this candle closes below this level, 78,356 on a Bitstamp, well, that would be a bearish dark cloud cover. Well, the lower it goes, the higher bearish odds would be. Let's see. That's the candle's perspective. Now let's move on to the Elliott waves. This was the chart that we left here standing on March 6, and this is what we are seeing here. Potentially, this was a corrective wave B with a truncated wave C. However, speaking about this bigger wave A or 1, I would probably expect that this would be wave B and another attempt here for wave 2 or wave B, somewhere along these lines. And we can even try to evaluate the target here. However, it is a bit difficult right now. We need to see a confirmation of a potential reversal first. However, if this was, let's say this was wave alternative B, and this, sorry about this one. Oh, this is alternative B. We might see a sharp move here for wave C or 3. However, we cannot reject this potential path here, and let's try to evaluate at least the minimum retrace. So it would be something here well, that's the perspective. Assuming this is the bottom, then we would be looking for this particular target somewhere along these lines. Yeah, this would be something here. Yeah, the perspective from 101 to 93 approximately. Again, and this would obviously, this would invalidate the potential red path, the alternative red path, and it will establish a new one. Well, that's the perspective at the micro level. Let's move on to the bigger chart. Oh, the bigger chart, where is this? Yes, this one. So this is the bigger chart that we discussed last on March 5th, and nothing changed here. So I'd like to emphasize that we called the potential top back in December, and since then Bitcoin was losing technically. It formed a double bottom, and right now it is forming a wave down. So the normal wave for us would be, for this type of wave, if we consider that the bottom here was on November 2022, then the big impulsive wave here and wave 2 for a retrace would be normally between 62 and 51k. And another thing that we were talking about is 1669k, a very critical level that Bitcoin would be looking for, and this was discussed in our regular weekly reports on investingangles.com. So we will discuss it in the next one tomorrow. That's a very important level, but we'll get back to it. So this is our perspective. So for wave 2, potential correction. Now let's move on to the next one and talk about this call. This was our probably the first warning at the beginning of February when Bitcoin was almost 98k, and we said that it is going to go down, and our 75k target here. Now we can see that Bitcoin finally broke through the 200 days moving average, the red line, and well, after backtesting the neckline, it is potentially moving lower. However, this size of double top makes me think that there is a possibility for a double distance here, and if we try to approximately measure it, it will be probably something bigger. So this would be the perspective, 58k, somewhere, something along these lines. And well, that's the possibility. That's the possibility. Right now, we will be looking for how Bitcoin reacts here around the 200 days moving average. If it backtests it and moves lower, that would be a crucial sign for us. Now let's have a look at the other chart. This was our big call. Technically, Bitcoin at the beginning of February, it formed a MACD bearish cross, and on the weekly frame, and we ran some statistical analysis saying that these would be the perspective declines for Bitcoin, perspective losses. So minimally 21%, maximum 85, and then averaging about 53. So 53 would bring us into this area, which is well aligned with the other estimates like Elliott waves or candle ones. And so this call remains active, and I'd like to bring some history here. So a very similar setup happened in April 2021 when we called a big top for Bitcoin, and not only called, but we also identified the area, the level about 30k when Bitcoin, where Bitcoin is heading, because the last wave was an ending diagonal. So technically it happened, and it was an amazing one. So what we are seeing here is a very similar perspective. However, we don't know the level exactly right now like we did before. So that's the perspective for Bitcoin. And now let's have a look at the altcoins. So these are the weekly closures of the biggest ones. So Bitcoin we already discussed in details. Ether, what is happening here is the weekly closure below the neckline. Technically, this is a huge double top, and we can also see it on the monthly frame. It's even better here. So it is confirmed on the weekly. If March closes below this neckline, it will be confirmed on the monthly. And well, I think the next target will be 0. For XRP, XRP here, this is a very strong weekly bearish engulfing. So the chances of moving lower are very substantial. And the next week most likely will be red one, but again we'll see what kind of candle it makes. Binance, it made a very strong move down, and it closed at a new low below the previous week low, and technically it also confirmed a double top. If we look at the monthly frame, it looks like a single top, and right now it is moving down. I'm not seeing a perspective recovery for at least 1 or 2 weeks for this coin. If we look at DOGE, what it is already hit our target that we placed, well, some time ago, a couple of months ago. I think that I don't have a time. Oh yeah, it was February 11. On February 11, we put this target here when the price was somewhere here around 0.25. Right now it is sitting at 0.17, and we have a good chance to continue lower because this weekly closure was terribly bearish. Now let's have a look at ADA. It's also a very interesting one. If you watched our video previously, I mentioned that ADA closed the months with somewhat bullish formation, and we expect some move up here, and it didn't happen. But this is the monthly frame. If we look now at the weekly, that's it. This run is over with a strong bearish engulfing. Now ADA has all chances to continue lower. Speaking about DOT, not much you can say when you see this big bearish engulfing. Chances for losing more value are significant. And the final one is Ethereum, that we also discussed and quietly put this target here way back in December. So far it looks like it is going to happen. Well, this is a big double top, and this is the monthly frame I'm saying, and Ethereum closed below the neckline, and now it is falling down. But Ethereum is the next feature, and we will discuss it just right now. So Ethereum, this is the candle map. A very strong bearish closure today with a big red continuation candle. We can see the freshly made, relatively freshly, 2 weeks ago, 50 by 20 days moving average bearish cross, and it looks like the 100 days moving average is also curling here, and I would say maybe in a week or two we should see another cross here. Well, that's considering that the previous one was already done, well, we're gonna have 3 crosses, and the chances for a continued move lower. The weekly frame was extremely strong bearish, and similar to the Binance BNB. So the next move is likely gonna be down. Maybe we can see some consolidation for a week or two, but a loss of 200 days moving average, week 200 weeks moving average and 100 weeks moving average in a couple of weeks, that's not gonna be a good sign down the road. The monthly so far, after confirming at our top here, looks very bearish. Now let's have a look at the Elliott Wave charts. So these charts have some history. First of all, I'd like to say this. So back in March 2024, like almost a year ago, we said that based on some technicals and some candle indicators, we said that this is going to be a top and Bitcoin is going to lose and it's going to, or Ethereum is going to lose and going to lose big. And this is the target that we projected, 950 to 95, the original target. So, and this is exactly what started to happen after that. Ethereum were losing for a couple of months after, and but then decided to move higher to make a double top. But this actually move here down, it invalidated any potential impulsive waves down, and we just said, okay, this is done. Now this is our last chart that we projected in February 2nd. This is going on down in an impulsive fashion, and this target remains technically the same, slightly adjusted based on the recent levels, but the same that we identified a year ago. So Bitcoin, Ethereum has all chances to go triple digits, and I wouldn't be surprised if the price hits the double digit area. Some perspective. And this is the micro level, the one that we projected on February 11th. So technically it is the same. I didn't change any element here. So now I can adjust something here. So this was wave 3, most likely this was wave 4. And right now, Ethereum is working on wave 5. It might already be completed. Well, there is a possibility, but maybe it will go a little lower here. Well, that's the perspective. And after this one, I would be looking for some, so wave 1, 2 was this one, so perhaps it's going to be some flat here and another wave down here. So that's the perspective path, very ballpark right now, very preliminary estimate. Now that's all for Ethereum, and just a few hours ago we discussed S&P 500 futures and the candles. Let's have a look at how they are doing right now. So this was the chart that we left standing technically, and right now it looks like it is moving, the futures are moving slightly higher, following either red or the blue path. So I'd like to emphasize this 57.91, technically it breaks the blue path and invalidates it, and we would be looking for the red one somewhere here. And I didn't mention in the previous video, but I'd like to say that if we are watching, if we are looking for wave A, B, C here, so wave C could go slightly higher, and it would be absolutely normal from the Elliott wave perspective. So this type of move, it wouldn't be as surprising. The question right now is how this wave is developed, whether it's going to be an impulsive wave or it is going to be a diagonal. So far it is not very clear. And speaking from the candles perspective, oh, that's interesting. What I was discussing is that this particular formation, so this is an hourly candle. We have 3 candles which were not able to break above this red level. So far this remains bearish formation. If it moves, let's see what kind of candle develops here. So far this is bearish. If we look at the 2 hour frame, also this is potentially bullish, but we need to see another 2 hours. But so far, the bearish odds are prevailing here. And the 4-hour frame, oh, that's interesting. So it had a chance to confirm a move down, but it didn't. But it's still within the range of this doji, and I would say it's right now neutral, somewhat leaning bearish. In a couple of hours, in the next 4 hours, it will be much clearer. But anyway, we continue to watch this and tune in for our tomorrow's discussion. And to wrap things up, Bitcoin and Ethereum have once again closed the week with critical technical signals, and today's analysis has given us key insights into what's coming next. With multiple warning signs stacking up since February, the big question remains: are we witnessing the early stages of a larger correction, or there's still a chance for a bullish recovery? The altcoin market doesn't look any better, with DOGE and other major coins flashing concerning signals. As we track the next moves, we'll be watching key support and resistance levels closely to determine whether the crypto market is gearing up for another leg down. Stay ahead of the trends with daily signals at investingangles.com. Join our stock and crypto subscription for just $10 a month, covering Bitcoin, Ethereum, major stocks, and private Discord access. Follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Telegram, and Reddit for real-time updates. If you really like this video, then say so, like it, share, and subscribe so you never miss a critical market update. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy trading.